Have you ever wondered how the Grim Reaper chooses his victims? A thought that might have sent shivers down your spine. The Grim Reaper, a figure so closely intertwined with the concept of death and the afterlife, is a symbol that has been etched into our collective consciousness. This spectre of mortality, often depicted as a skeletal figure shrouded in a dark, hooded robe, carries a chilling aura of mystery and fear. The Reaper's origins are as diverse as the cultures that birthed him. From the ancient Greeks' Thanatos, the peaceful face of death, to the Aztecs' Mictlantecuhtli, the queen of the underworld. Each culture has its own interpretation, yet they all share a common thread, a figure that ushers souls from the realm of the living to the realm of the dead. Now prepare to delve into a chilling tale, a narrative woven from the threads of fear and curiosity. This story might just answer the question that's been lurking in the shadows of your mind. How does the Grim Reaper choose his victims? Picture this, a quiet, peaceful town where life goes on as usual, until one fateful day. In the heart of the countryside, nestled among the rolling hills and serene meadows, lies a quaint little town. Life here is simple and unassuming, with the rhythm of days marked by the rise and set of the sun. But tranquility is a fleeting gift, and it was on such a town that the shadow of death fell, harsh and unyielding. Suddenly, the town was plagued by a series of mysterious deaths. A baker, known for his hearty laughter and delicate pastries, found lifeless in his kitchen. A schoolteacher, adored by all her students, discovered cold and unresponsive in her classroom. A farmer, resilient and hard-working, collapsed in his verdant fields, never to rise again. There was no semblance of a connection between the victims. They were of different ages, professions and circumstances. There were no signs of struggle or illness. It was as if life had simply evaporated from them. The town was abuzz with whispers and fearful glances. Could it be that the Grim Reaper had chosen their peaceful haven for his macabre dance? The air grew thick with dread as the townsfolk grappled with the chilling occurrences. The once lively markets were now hushed, the laughter of children replaced with eerie silence. The once colourful festivals were now mournful vigils. The once peaceful nights were now filled with nightmares. The town was gripped by fear, a fear so palpable it was almost a living, breathing entity. Each day brought with it the dread of who would be next. Each night was a vigil of hope for the dawn. The entire town was held captive by an invisible threat, the spectre of the Grim Reaper looming over them. The people were left with nothing but questions. Why were these people chosen? Was there any rhyme or reason to this selection, or was it all just a cruel game of chance? The town lives in fear, wondering who will be next and why. What if the Grim Reaper's choice isn't random at all? What if there's a pattern, a method to his madness? Imagine, if you will, the possibility that the Grim Reaper, the spectral entity associated with death, chooses his victims based on specific criteria. Let's delve into this concept, a chilling theory that turns the randomness of death into a calculated selection. Could it be that our life choices impact the Reaper's decision? Those who live life on the edge, courting danger at every turn, could they be tempting the Grim Reaper to pay them an early visit? Or does he perhaps favor those who live a life of virtue, rewarding their goodness with a peaceful passage? Then again, it's worth considering personal traits. Could the Reaper be swayed by the courageous, drawn to their bravery in the face of danger? Or conversely, does he prefer the timid, those who live in constant fear of death, their terror acting like a beacon to his dark presence? And what of our deepest fears? Could they be the key that unlocks this mystery? The Grim Reaper, after all, is often depicted as a figure of abject terror, a symbol of our worst nightmares made manifest. Could he be selecting his victims based on their fears, feeding off their terror to fuel his spectral existence? These theories, though unsettling, are fascinating to contemplate. They turn the Grim Reaper from a faceless force of nature into a sentient being with preferences and biases. It's a concept that's both terrifying and oddly comforting, transforming the randomness of death into something almost understandable. But here's a thought to ponder. If we were to understand these criteria, if we could somehow decipher the Grim Reaper's preferences, could we use this knowledge to our advantage? Could we alter our lives, our behaviors, our fears in such a way as to escape his notice? Could understanding these criteria help us escape the clutches of the Grim Reaper? It's a tantalizing thought, one that brings a spark of hope to an otherwise bleak subject. Yet, one must wonder, even if it were possible, would we really want to cheat death? But in the end, what is the one truth we cannot escape? The Grim Reaper, cloaked in darkness with a scythe in hand, is a haunting symbol that has been etched into our collective consciousness. But what does this spectral figure truly represent? Is it a random, capricious entity selecting victims based on some unfathomable criteria? Or is there a deeper, more universal truth hidden beneath the layers of fear and superstition? The Reaper, in all his chilling glory, is essentially a symbol of the one truth we all must face: our mortality. The shrouded figure, the gleaming scythe, the cold, unflinching gaze from beneath the hood, they all serve as stark reminders of the inescapability of death. No matter who we are, where we come from, or what we've accomplished, this is a journey we all must embark on. It's a truth that transcends age, race, status, and creed. From the moment we take our first breath, the clock starts ticking, and the Grim Reaper, patient and unwavering, waits. But is this a cause for despair? Should we live our lives in the shadow of the Reaper, consumed by the fear of our inevitable end? Or can we find a way to accept this reality and use it to fuel our desire to live fully, to cherish every moment, to make our mark on the world before our time runs out? The Reaper is not a chooser of victims, but a reminder of our ultimate destiny, a symbol of the end that awaits us all. It's not about how or when he'll come for us, but about how we choose to live in the face of this inescapable truth. So the question isn't really, how does the Grim Reaper choose his victims? But rather, how do we live knowing the Grim Reaper will one day come for us? It's a thought that might be chilling, but it's also a call to action. A call to live, not in fear of the end, but in celebration of the life we have.